This is Calvin Waite. I trade crypto for a living. I'm not a registered or licensed financial advisor, planner, or broker, so nothing on this channel should be taken as a recommendation to buy or sell. I also trade all of these things, so I probably have a vested interest in there. But there's plenty of entertainment value and lots of education, so this will be awesome. For those of you who didn't know, my subscription channel is live. So look at the link in the description over at cryptoinfluencers.com, and you can see how I make all of my trades and what I do and what I think about everything. This channel is for more hypothetical and looking at trends, and the other one is for actual trading, so you might be interested in that. Hey everybody, just a quick update today. Looking at the market, not a lot is happening, pretty flat day, fully flat weekend, but we'll just kind of look and see what there is to see and work through some of the emotions of this market. Just a quick reminder, the cryptoinfluencers.com is my home base. This is the free channel, and this here is the paid channel. And so that's where you find that. On Wednesdays, 12:30 Mountain Time, I'm doing a live stream, so those are always fun. So if you want to come and join in with some questions or whatever, we're about to close this market 4 minutes and 30 seconds, but we'll just zoom out and take a look at the week since it's Monday, and we'll just look and see how our week has shaped up. We closed almost a mirror image of our prior two red candles. So we've kind of stepped down lightly and come down harder, step down lightly, come down harder. This candle is a complete toss-up because we have support here, which flips the resistance here. We have a top here that we've matched here, and if we can build up enough strength, we will blow this up, and we will be heading straight up to 35. That would essentially be reverse head and shoulders. Somebody asked me a question on the Pro channel that if this is a reverse head and shoulders, doesn't that mean we need to come all the way back down to this line at 19,000? And if it was a perfect mirror, yes, but you get a lot of the structure from this formation where you've hit a top, pulled back, hit another top, and if it's a bullish market, you don't have to come back all the way as far. If you get back up to this top, it'll explode either way. So especially if you have an intermediate thing, where if you have a reverse head and shoulders where it's very clean, you have no jags, you go all the way down to a bottom, a very clean line back to the top, and then you come all the way back down, up, then you're more likely to have something because there's no intermediate resistance or support. But in this case, we kind of had this wacky little funky, W on the way down, and all of these points here, they create points of support. That's why I was so bullish when we hit up at 25,000, is because the downside is going to be limited by all of the support that we have. We have support here, we have support here, we have support here. And then we have a rising 50, and we also have our declining wedge that we've already established as support. So we've broken out of this wedge, come back and found it as support. We have everything we need to lift off. We just have to cross 25,000 and this market will just completely change. So we're at the brand new beginning of a week, and here we are. Looks like we have our daily close 2 minutes away, so it's pretty much there. Bear move, bulls had almost no strength, bear move, and this kind of weak flat isn't great. The longer, if we break down, we'll probably break down soon. The longer we hold and go out sideways, the stronger it gets. And I'll tell you why. It's because we have a deadline. This top and this top, they make this triangle. So we have until March 11th to drop. So if we're going to drop, we've got to do it in the next 5 days. And so if we just go sideways or if we cross above this line, momentum is shifted. And that's what we're looking for. So That's kind of what we're looking at here. The only other thing that's really worth mentioning is that it's been a little while since we've been using the matcher. And the matcher, if there's anything that has a variance of less than 20%, it's worth at least looking at. It's not going to be a perfect match, but at least there's something there. And this is the match. We keep matching with June of 2020. So decent move up, fair amount of sideways, but there was a higher high in the middle. And then now we've dropped back. So this drop here is being matched with this drop here. And back then we went sideways for a long time. It was like sideways for a month. I don't think we'll probably do that, but it kind of gives you an idea of what historically we had done under similar circumstances. It looks like we're going to close this candle in just a few seconds, so it might be actually interesting to update this. All I do is I put in, I've just created this little macro. So this would be for the 6th. So our day just barely closed. And looks like our open was 22,427.5. Our high of the day was 22,599.9. Low 22,261.1. And close at 22,406. So I'll just update this and we'll see if anything has changed. All right, well, we went from the 12th to the 17th. So it's still matching in this range. So it will be interesting. It'll be very interesting to see if this ends up being useful or not. But we are definitely in a bull market. We have a shift in momentum. We have to come back and find some kind of support. But things are changing. Our daily is changing a lot. I'll go down to a place where I don't have quite so many lines. Actually, I should just clean this up. This isn't super important. And this line, well, it still could be at play. But the rest of this was our, yeah, I'll delete this. And our bottoms are pretty much done. We don't need this. Okay, let me just save that. All right, this is a little bit cleaner. Take a look at the 50. Our 50 moving average came up really sharply, and that's because every single candle was being replaced by these flat low ones. And so by the time all these flat low ones are out, our angle continues to go up until they're out, and you'll see right here we've started to flatten out. That's because we started adding higher closes to our 50, and so it's flattened out quite a bit. Our 20 is dipping down, but our 50 is flat. So there's not a lot of pressure happening from the 50. There is upward pressure coming from the 100 though. So the 100 ticked here right when we finished this FTX drop, and now it's going flat, and so it's going to come up at an angle and do this for the next, this took what, 50 days to start ticking up. So we're well into our 50 days. We've got this 100 will be support coming up. The 200 is super important. It's pretty flat just because, let's see, yeah, it's the average of all of these, so there's not a huge difference. Until we get some of these off, it won't start moving up. But this market is bullish. It's temporarily pulling back, but the downside is less intense as our upside will be once we regain 25,000. So just been holding this and waiting and watching. So not a ton going on. We're just watching to see how this plays out. It is interesting that we have created this line. This is kind of an interesting line. It might be interesting to see if, now that we have more days, if this actually becomes important. But yeah, so we're kind of at a decision point. We're gonna have to break up or down at some level, but I'll leave this where it was, just because we have a perfect candle body top, candle body bottom, and then we did touch this perfectly. So we've got a little bit of wiggle room here, but yeah, interesting market. Ethereum, there's nothing to see because it's just following Bitcoin. The few major things, so S&P had a kind of kind of a slow down candle right at the 20. And so I'm not sure. We could zigzag a little bit, but I still feel like the S&P is bullish and it will eventually pull up Bitcoin with it. And the other thing is Ethereum Bitcoin is getting interesting. When we leave the red zone, it's usually a pretty good time to be in Ethereum. When we exit the green zone, you want to be in Bitcoin. And for the past month and a half, almost 2 months, we've wanted to be in Bitcoin rather than Ethereum. But just like we mentioned on this huge multi-year, 3 or 4 year ascending triangle, we found support down here, and we are so close to exiting the red zone on the Bitcoin Ethereum chart, and Ethereum will start outpacing Bitcoin. It'll be a safer asset to be holding if this starts moving up. So that's a big one. I was looking at total market cap, and we've actually flattened for 3 days with support on our big drop on this 200 week. So if I go to the weekly, we can kind of see that playing out. Look at that. So this is total market cap all together. And you'll notice that we did get rejected on the 50, and this low is actually, or this high is lower than this high. So we're still trending a little bit down, which is really bullish, because the next move up will be a full change in momentum from our bottom that we've established. But yeah, we're looking pretty good. We've got our monthly coming up as support. This chart makes me feel like we will most likely see a green week. So we have found support on the 200, higher high, and I would expect this to be a higher low. We'll see, but just looking at the chart, that's kind of the way it looks like to me. And let's take a look at everything minus Bitcoin and Ethereum. The rest of the alts, they are pulling back, but probably not for long. There's probably only a little bit of wiggle room left, and they will find some support. So this market's getting there. We just need a little patience, a couple weeks to a month, maybe a couple months tops. But within about a week, we'll see either a move up or down on Bitcoin. If we're still going sideways in longer than a week, then it's actually going to be more bullish than bearish. So, all right, guys, we will catch you tomorrow. Thanks for making it to the end of my video. Make sure you keep those trades small. Don't force a trade. Don't get impatient. And if you want to see how all this works, please come over and check me out on the subscription channel at cryptoinfluencers.com. Again, the link is in the description.